These white liberals, God help us. They the reason why this stuff is even happening. They always want to protect the brown man. And don't know what the brown man trying to kill you and you trying to protect the brown man against the other white man. Like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bells, get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. This is the craziest sugar honey iced tea that I have ever seen. The amount of fraud that's coming out of Minnesota is crazy. Let me just give you a perspective financially. A lot of people out here crying, spitting, crying on each other, laying out in the middle of the street because we give $3.8 billion to Israel for defense, which they have to then spend in America per year. But yet the fraud in Somalia, AKA Minnesota, is now they're saying up to $18 billion. That's like 6 years of military funding for Israel that people claim as an existential threat to America. In one city, one state, they've arrested like 60 people responsible for $18 billion worth of fraud. I mean, literally, they doing more fraud in Minnesota than the GDP in Somalia. You can't make this up. I want to talk about the investigation real quick, and I want to tell you about Ground.News. So let's pull up Ground.News, and I want to talk about this real quick. So if you are looking to get more information on this, which we all should be, because I want to know, is Kesh Patel going to actually do his job, right? And I think that he is. He's at least trying to, because the FBI has extended their investigation into the daycare fraud probe after the viral video of Nick Shirley. Like, Nick Shirley literally prompted the FBI to do their job. One is that he exposed it, which the media should be already doing. But anyway, if you want to be informed, and I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'm going to be watching. I'm going to not only be watching for the information, I'm going to be watching how people cover this. I want to know how people are going to cover it from the left. I want to know people in the center, and I want to know people covering it from the right, so we can get a full perspective of how the nation is keeping up with one of the biggest frauds being uncovered in United States history, especially Minnesota history. This is one of the biggest frauds in the country, but it's definitely the biggest fraud in Minnesota. But one thing I love about Ground.News is you can just go right here and look at the left and give you a synopsis of what the left is saying about it, the center, the right, and also they have bias comparison. So you can kind of see what the left, right, and center is talking about, and it gives an AI comparison. So you can have a quick synopsis of what, you know, what the temperature is. Here's the podcast you can listen to talking about the topic. This is the most comprehensive website that I've ever seen. I would be a billionaire if I came up with this, and I wish I did. But I love our sponsor. They've been incredible to us, and I always want to give them a shout out and show support. Also, don't miss the blind spot. These are things that you need to be paying attention to. You can see right here who's talking about it. If the left is talking about it and the right ain't talking about it, that's the exact thing that you need to be paying attention to so you don't get caught off guard. You can get the Vantage plan. I think we can hook y'all up with 40% off. All you got to do is go to ground.news/Tatum, ground.news/Tatum. Go to the link in the description section. Let's get back. So Nick Shirley, who's an American hero. Shout out to Nick Shirley, American freaking hero. Going and exposing this stuff, and what does the mainstream media do? They haven't covered not one iota of this. Biggest fraud in American history. They haven't covered none of it. But I want to give you a quick recap. If you haven't been watching, we're going to play a couple clips of Nick Shirley so you can see kind of up to speed, and we're going to dive into all this stuff, even the stuff that came out today. Roll a clip.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong, and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday, and if you were to try to go inside,
this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open up!
They said they spelled learning wrong.
Don't
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm
Hold on,
literally a
time out.
YouTuber.
These dumb liberals are like, they make my nerves bad. What are you doing? Why are you even there talking about ice? And but you're not worried about the fraud in your city. Tax dollars going to fake daycare centers. And you out here saying, don't open up. These white liberals, God help us. They the reason why this stuff is even happening. They always want to protect the brown man. And don't know what the brown man trying to kill you and you trying to protect the brown man against the other white man. Let's play the clips. We give you a summary. We'll be done in a second. Roll it.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
Ma'am, what?
I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door.
Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check a child in the daycare.
Why?
Can I speak to a
Why?
manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare.
And after a few...
And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Childcare.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way.
Listen.
That's a couple of the clips that we had just to give you a recap. And I want to go even deeper in this. We were going to talk about the security. I'm going to get to the security in a minute because we've been protecting Nick Shirley, and you guys have seen people talk about it. And I'll get to that in a minute. I'm sure you guys want to know and find out how to help support Nick Shirley's security. But before we get to his security and Black Line, I want to show a little bit of the fraud. And extend the conversation about how much fraud this really is. We got a couple clips from the news, a couple clips with some examples, and I'm going to play those right now to bring to your attention. Let's roll the first clip, 108.
Details this morning of how people in Minnesota spend hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars on luxury cars and real estate. Now, this money was stolen apparently from programs that provided services to poor children. Many of the accused are Somali Americans, a fact that President Trump has used to criticize the broader community in general.
A honeymoon in the Maldives, a fleet of luxury cars. Here's a box with more than $270,000 in cash. This was all evidence from a new trove of files obtained exclusively by CBS News, showing how a group of...
Let's go to clip 116. Roll it.
I spoke in the fall about the iceberg I saw ahead. Something's fraud that's much larger than what's been visible to the public. When I said that, it wasn't hyperbole or rhetoric, it was a warning. So the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services pulled the claims data for these 14 programs dating back to 2018. And those 14 programs in Minnesota have cost $18 billion since 2018, and more than $3.5 billion in 2024 alone. Now, I'm sure everyone is wondering how much of this $18 billion was fraud. That's it's not the $1 million question. That's the $18 billion question. I don't make these generalizations in a hasty way. So when I say a significant amount, I'm talking in the order of half or more. But we'll see.
Even half is like $8 billion. But like, is my math mathing? Maybe it's 9. It's actually 9. My math wasn't mathing. It's $9 billion is half of that. Let's go to what these fools were doing in 2015. This is way back in 2015. Roll the clip.
In order for the scheme to work, the daycare centers need to sign up low-income families that qualify for child care assistance funding. These surveillance videos are from a case prosecuted by Hennepin County. They show parents checking their kids into a center only to leave with them a few minutes later. Sometimes no children would show up. But either way, the center would bill the state for a full day of child care. This video from that same case shows a man handing out envelopes of what are believed to be kickback payments to parents who are in on the fraud.
Where was the money going?
I don't know exactly where it went.
Can you imagine that? It's just crazy to me. People got to go to jail over this. I know we rant, we rave. People have to go to jail, prison. This is treasonous. If these people are stealing this money and sending it overseas to fund a terrorist organization, bruh, that's death penalty stuff. What are we even saying here? And I want to get to the part where we show y'all how not only have this been exposed by Nick Shirley, not only do we know how much money that has been potentially defrauded from one city, we have evidence of the gaslighting that they're doing. That's the crazy part, is the gaslighting. So before we get to the gaslighting and before we get to whether or not people are going to go to jail, I want to talk about security real quick. Because if you have seen the craziness of what goes on when Nick goes out here, and as you can see in the clips that I played before, our people are protecting Nick in that clip. And the reason why you don't see them, because they're doing their job. Now, he just went back to Minnesota, and we've been protecting them in Minnesota now. But I want to show y'all a few clips of this type of stuff that Nick has to deal with going to try to uncover the bull crap. And if the guys that you see that have the balaclavas on, the face covered, those are our guys protecting Nick while he's out here, just asking legitimate questions about fraud. Look at how hostile these people are. Roll the clip.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Move. Get the fuck out of here.
You cannot come in here. We don't care. We don't know where it is. Get out. That's not your job. You don't know that. Get out.
He's recording.
Get out of here.
Fucking idiot.
Hey.
They're recording.
Move.
I didn't give you permission to record me.
What kind of no? Why you come here? Why you have permission? No. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, you have to stop the camera.
You have to stop the camera.
You have to stop the camera.
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for? Who do you work for? Shirley. I don't care about Nick Shirley. This guy. But who do you work for? Nick Shirley. I don't care about Nick Shirley. That's who he's working for today. Nick Shirley.
Stop here. Stop here. Stop here.
Get out of here. Yes.
Would you like to give a statement, sir? And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here.
From the statement that's on the website, Advanced Mobility. This address is too far. You don't care about the state of Minnesota or what?
Where's Advanced Mobility at? That's all we're asking.
This
doesn't even exist.
Advanced Mobility?
What's it been like you did?
Why don't you go to
Does it exist?
white business? Why not just white business?
Why? I grew up in Minneapolis. I don't have to go anywhere.
You must be a miss.
Did you grow up here? Did you grow up here?
Why do you care?
I was born in Minneapolis. You're telling me to go
to the
somewhere.
white place.
I grew up here.
Now I want y'all to think of something real quick. Now you see these guys out there, I told you, go back to the camera angle. You see the guys out there with their face covered. These are all guys protecting Nick. They're covert in some areas, top tier guys. You F around, you'll find out. So, but good thing that they're there because they're a deterrent. Because just imagine if they weren't there, what do you think they would do to Nick? What I'm just saying, what do y'all think they'll try to do to Nick? You see how hostile they are with these dudes there? There's one more clip that I want to play to kind of show y'all a little bit of how aggressive these people are getting with Nick. Just all he's doing is saying, this is what the paperwork show. Where is this to prove it? They could have a spokesperson come out and talk to Nick and say, hey, this is what we have. Hey, come welcome into the building. Let us sit down and talk to you, because this is going all over the world. What Nick is doing is all over X. And if these people had a legitimate business model, they should be able to sit down and say, hey, come in, let us explain what's going on here. And you can record us and you can put it out to the world. But they doing fraud. Here's another clip of Nick out there and these people kind of being aggressive with him. But you know, when the black line is standing between you and evil, you're doing pretty good. Roll the clip.
How you doing, man?
I just want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from this?
We're looking for fraud.
No, I'm
For instance, can you answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607?
1 second.
It's not there.
How much money are you? How much money are you making?
Dreamline Security.
How much money are you making
off
of this?
I make money off of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing.
That's my job.
And attacking the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the reason why this is happening. All right. Let me tell you the reason why you're attacking
fraud,
this.
Correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This is absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying
no.
We're
because when I go onto your comments, when I go onto your comments, what I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration.
You better pipe down.
Just like the Japanese community, all right? You're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that can that's something that can jeopardize the safety and the protection of the Somali community. If anything happens to the Somali community, listen, I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching you.
You're getting very close.
I'm not physically touching you. No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud.
What you're doing, when I go into your comments, people who hate Muslims, who want us out of here for being Muslim, are using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
fraud.
What
you do, you hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate
you hate Muslims. Why are you attacking us? Are we the only community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about fraud.
Are we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, but there's what, 300 Somali providers in all of Minnesota?
There's actually.
I'm not. Don't touch me.
Don't go close.
Do you speak English? Right? Your security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a racist.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
Playing.
We have what, 1,000 providers?
You be speaking through a straw.
Even it's 2,000 providers. You want to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people because of 2,000 providers? Are you mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
All right, I just wanted to show that perspective real quick. It gets crazier, and our guys are obviously standing in between and making sure Nick is safe. But you see how crazy these people get with him? Do you see how they try to make it about race and make it because they're Somalians from Africa? You doing $18 billion in fraud. Y'all doing more fraud than the Somalian country GDP. And it's because you black. Now, I just want to give a quick shout out to the guys, our Black Line guys that are out there protecting Nick, man. Shout out to them, man. When I watch the videos and I see them protecting him, they're fair. They're not violating nobody's rights. Look, you get too close, then they got to step in. But they're respectful. They're doing the job like they're supposed to. So shout out to the Black Line Security for protecting Nick. And I'll say this too. If they weren't there, what do you think would happen? With that in your mind, we need to continue to help Nick have security. And we're very transparent with everything that's involved. Nick knows exactly how much money you guys are supporting him with, and all of that goes 100% to his security. The beauty about the nonprofit is that we don't have no overhead in nonprofit right now. We don't have any people, that we have to pay salary to, none of that. So all of it goes directly to Nick and his security. And people who donate can earmark it just for Nick. and it goes directly to Nick. And we give Nick reports every day, and we cover his security at 100%. But if you want to be a part and support him, which obviously we're going to need to if he's going to continue to do this, I wish that people can just cover his security for the year. Elon, if you're watching this, help cover his security for the whole year, and then we don't have to worry about it. All you got to do is go to Black Line Guardian Fund. We'll put the link below. It's Black Line Guardian Fund. You can go on. It's a tab at the top that says Support Nick, Shirley. Click that link. Give whatever God has purposed on your heart. If you think you want to give hundreds of thousands, if you somebody that's rich and you want to pay his security for the year, you can give through the account, or you can contact us. If you need to contact us to wire the money or whatever, go ahead and do it, and we'll make sure he get top tier security. These guys don't around. I just want y'all to know this is elite guys at the top of the food chain that's going to make sure Nick can do his journalism and he can get out of there if need be. Now let's get back to the gaslighting and the investigation. So I'm going to show you something real quick related to the gaslighting. And I think everybody should be aware of this. And that the gaslighting that they're doing should be so obvious to the public. You know what I mean? That I don't know how it's even questioned whatsoever. This is going to pee you off. Let's go to Tim Walz real quick, because Tim Walz is the culprit in this. This is, to me, maybe even before this, but this is where the gaslighting starts. Roll the clip. This is this fool replacing the Minnesota flag. Roll it.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute.
Where you going, Tim?
Staged.
Oh yeah, great. Get that flag out of here. Bring in the new state flag. Oh, that's quite an ugly flag there, Tim.
Time out.
There, that's better.
You telling me you went from a comprehensive flag with all of that historicity in it, all of the designs, and it looks like, and you go to a flag with a star on it with two colors. That's what you... We don't hate what these people do enough. We don't hate it enough. These are evil, stupid, ignorant folk that's going to f our country up. And they grinning while they doing it. They are going to f us. Roll the clip.
I can't believe Tim Walz replaced the state flag with a Somalian one. False! Tim Walz didn't pick Minnesota's new flag, and its designer said it wasn't inspired by Somalia's. Yeah, the fact checkers were all over this one when it seemed it might hurt Tim Walz's chances of becoming vice president. But are we, critical thinkers that we are, going to sit by and accept this? Here is the previous Minnesota state flag. It's alright, I guess. We have mountains, a guy working on a farm, and, uh-oh, an Indian on a horse. Well, we can't have an Indian on a horse.
Some imagery of the state flag was deemed politically incorrect.
It depicts a Native American riding off into the distance with a white settler on the land. The first flag, adopted in 1893, did too.
The Native American man on horseback was troubling to a great many.
Let's pivot now in 2024 and do something that's more inclusive.
I think we can tell a better story.
Yeah, these dudes are a bunch of wussies with a P. I'm so sick of these people. I'm so sick of these lame duck dudes. Let's just, come on, let's just line up, bro. Let's just line these dudes. Come on, line up. Let's the real men versus the wussies. Let's line up and finish it. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation that include knuckle sandwiches. Y'all know how and sick you are a wussy. I won't do this because I'm a good man. I just want to walk and just slap one of these people. Open hand. I won't ball my fists on these dudes. You sitting here crying about a Native American on a horse, and you a man. I wish I wasn't a Christian. I'd be cussing and going crazy. Y'all, I'll give you what you really want, but I'm trying to be a good Christian. Okay, let's finish the clip.
Through the flag.
And what better story to tell than Somalia's conquering of Minnesota? False! Right. Sorry, fact checkers. It's totally not a Somalian flag. So a redesign commission was put together to come up with a new flag. They looked at many designs and settled on a base.
The commissioners have narrowed down their choices to one base design, but they're still trying to figure out exactly what elements the future flag will have.
Hold on a second. This is what they picked here? Okay, this is the Somalia flag, and this is the terrorist-infested Somali Puntland flag. You guys really thought people weren't going to connect any dots here? You're going to call people who find this highly suspicious conspiracy theorists?
It's such an honor and a privilege, and I'm so happy that we've changed the flag to something that is more inclusive to all people, specifically our indigenous communities.
It's inclusive to the indigenous communities by removing one from the flag. Addition by subtraction, you see.
It is unifying. It is pleasing
to...
Enough
is enough. All right, let's get to a couple other gaslit scenarios on this thing. Where that dumb woman at? That black lady. And then we're going to go back to Tim Walz, and then we're going to have Nick Shirley's response to it. But look at this garden tool. Wrote a clip.
So these were funds that were meant to go to help feed hungry people during the COVID pandemic, to help keep people in their homes who were at risk of homelessness. So first of all, if there is fraud there, that should be fully investigated, no matter where it is, whether it's in a Democratic-led state, a Republican-led state. I mean, let's pull back. So absolutely, it should be investigated. The question is, you know, why is this a priority in a different kind of way? The politicization of the DOJ and the FBI is undeniable. So whether they are reliable narrators is the big question. And this is what happens when you weaponize and politicize federal agencies that are not meant to be, politicized. And I think the American people are right to ask the question, well, can we trust you? And that's a sad thing to say as an American. Let's recall, too, that there's also other scandals in other states. For example, the Mississippi welfare scandal. And this is not unique to politics. Americans know that. But, of course, the other factor here is that because it looks like the Somali population in Minnesota, the Somali immigrant population may have been involved in some way, those people are being scapegoated, and that community is being scapegoated in a way that certainly serves the far right.
You're going to hell. She going to hell. I hope you burn in hell for your lying, silly self. It's because they're Somalians. Because they were involved in some way. Involved in some way, they are doing the fraud. You can't find another person involved in fraud like the Somalians. Which other people? They got daycare centers with no kids in it. No kids. None. They're not even faking like they got kids in the daycare center. They're not even spelling the words right. I'm spitting. I'm so mad. There's some Somalians involved. What? Here, look at Tim. Put Tim up. Roll Tim.
This is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you. This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy, when you hear the Vice President of the United States talk about now white people won't have to apologize for being white. That's never happened once in my whole damn life. And I think everybody in this room knows what they're doing. So we're here today to say enough of this. We're here today to stand that Minnesota will protect their neighbors, to tell those folks who are out there who are too scared to send your children to school, who are too scared to visit a local business, who are too worried about maybe picking up extra food during the holidays at the food banks. We will do all we can to make those corridors safe for you, to make sure you're able to do what you need to do. So I'm grateful for the leadership in this room. I'm grateful for the folks who have been standing.
If you see him when you die, you went to hell. I just want you to know that. All right, let's get to the last. What was the last? And this is Nick Shirley kind of responding to them claiming that this is a white supremacist perspective. It's crazy because a white kid like him can't go out and do journalism. The Negro won't do it, so the white boy got to do it. But then y'all mad because he white. Maybe I should go do it. Then what do you say? It's white supremacy? Roll the clip.
Governor Tim Walz is saying that you and others that are out there trying to expose this, you're doing it because you're white supremacists. What is your response to him?
Yeah, Tim wants votes. There are entire apartment complexes where white people have been pushed out of these apartment complexes because Somalians have taken over and they're inside of these towns like Minneapolis, where they can go get votes from these people. And if you have 100,000 people that will vote for you because you're going to enable and let this stuff happen, and because you're going to call a white person racist for calling out facts, this is what's going to happen to a state like Minnesota. Minnesotans, they say Minnesota nice, but they are very upset. And I totally understand why they're upset, because they don't have a governor who's actually working for them. He's actually working against them.
Shout out to Nick Shirley. Hey, I want to play a clip real quick because I don't know exactly what Nick Shirley's thing is, but can you play the clip of Alex Jones? Because Alex Jones gave us a pretty cool shout out. And I also want you guys to see where you can go and support Nick Shirley, also his security, but also support him. Let me put this in perspective real quick for people, because I'm an influencer. I had my moment where my life changed when I blew up on the internet. One thing to understand is that when you support Nick Shirley's security, you are supporting his security. That means that all the money you give to security is going to his security. If you want to support Nick Shirley, you can support him directly as well. So if you want to see him continue to do what he need to do and afford to buy equipment and all this, make sure you also support him personally, because we can't mess with we don't mess with money like that. Nick Shirley security is his security, and then his personal stuff is his personal stuff. He can spend it on security too if he wants to. But also, if you want to support him fully, give a little bit to his security and give a little bit to him directly. Let me play the clip from Alex Jones, because I think he explains where you can go and help and support and roll the clip.
Lots of things are coming as far as this fraud being exposed, and it's getting very dangerous. I feel so thankful that people have reached out, people have donated, because just to get security alone for that last video, it cost $4,000. It cost $3,600 to be allowed to go out and do that video. And now it's like even more dangerous. It feels like even just dangerous to be at home. So
well, you saw the mayor last week say ICE agents are going to get killed, and now they're attacking him even more and shooting at him there and ramming him. Absolutely. So thank God for Brandon Tatum sending in his security team. And people, how do people support you? Because again, it takes money to win a war. I never even see you with sponsors. I never even see you asking for anything. How do we support you and your great work?
Yeah, the best way obviously is just to be watching.
So I think he goes on to say watching, and he said Venmo or something. We're going to put his links in the description section so people can go and support him too. Because I want you guys to understand that he does need support. So he needs support security, and he also needs personal support, because the YouTube stuff is okay. But I mean, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got to buy flights. He got to pay for all these people to come out. He needs cameras and all this, so the stuff that he would need. And we're going to support him as well. So I'm going to call him and make sure that he got his ducks lined up so he can get the support that he needs.